Well, a pleasure now to be joined here on GCR by a man who was very much in the mix for the Ravens yesterday, including a lovely catch down the left sideline on a nice feathered pass from Lamar Jackson. He is Ravens running back Melvin Gordon, and he is with us here on GCR. Melvin, it's Glenn. It's great to chat with you, man. Thank you for taking the time for us.
Yeah, man, thanks for having me, man. Appreciate it.
Absolutely, dude. I can only imagine how good it felt to get involved in a big win like that yesterday. I know it's got to be like a kind of a strange place in your career where you've accomplished so many things and now you kind of have to fight for opportunities. How good of a feeling was that yesterday?
Anytime you get a victory, it feels good, but it feels better when you contributed to the win. So, just hats off to everybody who kind of played a part in that.
Melvin, there were a lot of stories about the opportunities that you could have had and places where you were wanted going into the season. Can you take us through why it was that you wanted to be a part of this here in Baltimore, even though it meant, nothing was going to be guaranteed for you?
Yeah. Man, I mean, just across the league, I think since I've gotten in the league, you've only heard great things about, the Ravens and how good of an organization it is. And I knew they liked to run the ball. It always kind of fit my style of play. So, I probably should have been out here maybe, a year or two ago, but I'm here now and just got to make the best of it. But it holds true. The organization is top notch. I don't think second to none. And I'm enjoying my time here, man.
No, I appreciate that. And I think a lot of people appreciate it. I remember, and I've told the story, you and I had a chat right before you got drafted, right? And I'll give it away. We get off the phone and we stop recording, and you say, "Bro, I need you to know how badly I want to be in Baltimore."
Yeah,
And of course, at the time, it was because Coach Hammock was here, right? And you had that
yeah,
connection with Wisconsin. But it felt to me like there was something that it was of course that, but it was also it sounded like you were talking about what you knew about the Ravens organization. And hearing you say it should have been a year or two ago, it feels like maybe that never went away. That
yeah.
like you always wanted to be a part of this thing.
Yeah, I think some things supposed to happen where I was supposed to be here, but just didn't fall through all the way. But yeah, my coach coming out, I kind of like I said, I felt like, everyone watched the Ravens and I felt like their style of play kind of fit what I did at Wisconsin, And then it did help that my coach was there. So I was walking into, familiar grounds. But it all circled back and here we are.
Melvin Gordon is with us here on GCR after a big Ravens win yesterday. Melvin, how has this team overcome losing so many guys, right? Like what it's almost insane that you look at the inactive
Yeah.
list and everyone on the list is not just a contributor, in most cases a star, right? How
Mm-hmm.
has this team been able to put all of that aside and get off to a 3-1 start? What have you learned about the culture, the leadership, this
Mm-hmm.
group of guys that has allowed for that to happen?
I think it just pays contributes to like, just how they go about work every day. Regardless of who's in, coach expect the expectation to be high. I expect you to go out there and practice hard. I expect you to get your job done, and expect to win, regardless. And we all know that injuries happen. It's a part of the game. Unfortunately, we've had more than we probably wanted at this point in time, especially this early. But we do get some of those guys back, which is good. But it's tough, man. It's tough, but I just think it just falls down to the culture, man. Everyone practices so hard. It's just ridiculous. And then, they practice so hard that they're ready for the moment. They're thirsty and ready for the moment. Everybody wants the moment. And then when they get it and they get their moment, everyone's trying to make opportunity and make the best of it. So it's just credit to how, these coaches and the organization really just goes about their business every day, because then there's no lack in play, and obviously you can see that.
That throw that I'm referenced from Lamar, dropping it right in the bucket to you on the left side,
Yeah.
right? Like how much had you guys worked on that? And like what kind of smile do you have when a play like that plays out the exact way that you imagine it going?
Yeah. Well, we've been repping that those type of plays like that for a while. Pretty much since training camp, and it's kind of good when you can get it in the game and make it work. Especially taking all those reps and then you actually have getting the opportunity to get that play. I think most backs love to kind of be have the ball thrown to them outside,
Yeah.
out of the backfield, especially down the field like that, because you really don't get too many opportunities down the field. So it's love, and then he made a perfect pass. I don't think it could have got any perfect.
Phew.
Nelson kind of set the pick, and uh, it just was crazy. I mean, it was a perfect pick. He didn't even touch him, and the guy almost fell, and it was just. I mean, the play worked out magically. So, kudos to the OC drawing that up, man.
That was that they y'all were in your bag on that one, man. That
Yeah,
was a
it
lot
was
of fun
nice,
for
nice,
everybody. What have you
nice
learned about
focus.
Lamar, right? Like I'm sure, given who you are and the status that you have in league circles, that you would probably
Yeah.
at least had conversations or knew guys that knew guys, but being
Mm-hmm.
around him every day and how he's driven, what have you learned about him and what has it meant to you to have that opportunity to work with him?
That he's so competitive, man. He's very competitive. And he hates losing. He hates losing, and he says that all the time. He like, man, I don't care what we do, I just want to win. And, and I think that's why him and Coach Harbaugh are just so close because he wants to win more than anything. And that tops a lot, and he cares about all of us. But at the end of the day, he wants to win, and Lamar wants to win, and how he just so smooth running the ball, man. I mean, obviously he could pass. You can see the dime he threw,
Yep.
and and he's even gotten better, since he's been in the league with throwing the ball. I mean, and it's only room for improvement. He's only gonna continue to keep growing in that area. But he's so smooth running the ball, the way he naturally sets up blocks and do that. And as a running back, you kind of pay attention to that, how you set up blocks, how you do that, and you could tell he's just gifted at what he do, man. But he's super cool though. He's down to earth.
That
He's not. He's down to earth, man.
That was exactly where I wanted to go with it. Like, it's impossible how cool he is, isn't he? Like, he's just
Yeah.
nothing, I don't know, changes him in any way.
Yeah.
And every conversation you have, like, even when you're just walking in the locker room, like that dude, he's the exact same person
Yeah.
at all times. It blows me away how remarkably cool he is.
Yeah. True Florida boy, man. True Florida boy.
Yeah, is
I
I
be
mean
hanging out with the Florida guys, man. They cool, man. He fall right in suit with those boys, man.
I mean, dude, it's working for him. Like, let's make that abundantly clear. It is working for him. Just another couple minutes here with
Yeah.
Melvin Gordon, Ravens running back after a huge win yesterday. Melvin, you mentioned the Ravens football and running the ball. Obviously, it was going to be a little bit different this year because a team that ran the ball all the time with Greg Roman, they were going to mix things up with Todd Monken. You bring up like Todd Monken going into his bag for that play yesterday. What have you learned about Coach Monken and the way that he operates in the offense and how much of a fit it's been for your group of guys so far?
Yeah. I mean, I can't really compare last year with this year,
Right.
because I wasn't here. But he's trying to find a way to be more balanced. He tries to find a way to, um, you know, get everybody in position to win and positions to be great. And I think the sky's the limit what he can do with this offense, and it's showing. He's dialing things up, and he you never know who's gonna shine in what particular game. The way he's scheming things up, man. So I'm excited to keep working with him. I think, they brought him in for a reason. They know what he can do. He's showing it, and he's only going to continue to keep showing it. And we got the players to make him look good. He's gonna call it, and we got the players. We got the skill set. I mean, we got so many receivers that can do so much. I think at times it should get hard for him because
You got to get the ball to
everybody
all
wants
of
the
them.
ball, but you only got you only got one football, man, and you have so much talent. So, I don't know how they shake things up in the room to get who the ball and how they scheme it up, but thus far he's done a phenomenal job with sharing the ball amongst the team. But it'd be hard for me to be an offense coordinator with so much talent, man, because this is actually a talented football team, and but he's doing what he needs to do, man. We're not in the we're in a great place, but it's more to achieve, so we're not comfortable.
I appreciate that. And I wanted to reference like it's an interesting scenario because you got a ring, right, from a year
Yeah,
ago. But I have no doubt that you want to be like involved. You want to be the guy that's like making
yeah,
plays in order to win a is that what drives you now? And I have no doubt that you have pride in the fact that you can call yourself a Super Bowl champion for forever.
hmm
Like I talked to guys, Jameel McClain here in Baltimore is a guy that like it bummed him out that he was hurt when the Ravens won the Super Bowl and he didn't get to
yeah,
make that impact. How much does that drive you now? Okay, I've got a ring, but I want to be like on the field contributing
yeah.
and having that feeling of playing and winning a Super Bowl.
Man, that makes man it'll mean a lot, and not to take away from winning that ring because that I was still emotional and I was still it was just it's something as a kid you always dreamed of. You watch the guys on there tearing up and holding up the trophy, and it's just like, I want to be a part of that one day. And regardless how you get there, even if you get there, it's still an accomplishment in your life,
Yep.
right? But to hold up the trophy knowing that you contributed in a way to win the game that day, would mean everything. So that's what I'm chasing. I'm chasing another ring, man. That feeling was just it's more than enough for you to continue to keep striving every day to get that feeling again. I tell people all the time I can see why Tom Brady played so long. Like, winning that ring is like, it's almost like a drug that you probably will never experience again, or you probably will. And it's just like, it's just so much joy. Like that's probably one of the, I don't have kids. I'm not married. But that at this point was like one of the happiest moments of my life. I was just so happy. Tears are running down my eyes. I just didn't even know why. I was just so happy, man. I was so happy. And it's and for me to say that all I have to do is put on pads, go out and give everything I have to lay it on the line just to get that feeling again. I shouldn't come up short of expectations. So,
Mm.
so that's just the mindset. I want to win, and I want to win, and I want to do whatever it takes, for other guys on my team to feel that feeling. Because man, it's amazing.
I think it goes without saying that everybody here supports that thought process, and we are fully
Yeah,
on
for sure.
board with, with it working out that way. Melvin, you have any like feel at all yet for Raven Steelers and what this means coming up this week for everybody here in Baltimore and sort of what this? I'm sure you have a sense for what this rivalry has meant throughout the NFL.
Yeah. Yeah, I got an idea of just this division alone. I mean, no one in the building takes this division lightly, regardless of who we're playing, whether it's Cleveland, Cincinnati, the Steelers. It's real deal. Like you have to have your hard hat on, and they make that known. And we practice pretty hard, so we don't have to get ready. We're ready. We're ready to go, but it's still a mindset that you have to have. I don't care going up against these teams, Pittsburgh, and that's how I've always felt. I didn't have to be a Raven to know that when you play these teams,
Mm,
you had to be ready because they just play bully ball, and it's just honestly it just comes down to who's gonna be the biggest bully that day, and that's just what it is. That's been known since before I got in the league,
no doubt.
when I got in the league. It's just this division is just there is bully ball, and and who's gonna be the toughest kid on the block. So we understand that, and we got to prepare. I don't care what their record is. They could be 0 and whatever. I know. Especially when they play inside their division, they about to bring it. So you don't want to be that one that's caught lacking. You have to be ready. You have to be prepared when you're going up against a team like this because it's the National Football League one, and it's this division to where these guys get down and they get physical, man.
All right, last one for you. Kevin Zeitler, right? Couple of Wisconsin guys again. And do I like have it right that you would have been teammates very briefly when you guys were in college, or did you guys miss
We
each other
I
entirely?
had a year. I had a year with Tyler.
Wow.
I had a year
So
with
so
Tyler.
the career that he's carved out for himself and y'all reuniting this way this deep into your careers. I don't know if you've had an opportunity. I know that we were talking to him just 2 weeks ago, and I know Mrs. Zeitlers are making cupcakes for like everybody. all training camp long. I don't know if you had an opportunity to try that, but how cool has that been for you to reunite with him this deep into your careers,
Yeah.
everything you guys have accomplished?
Yeah, man. It's dope, man. I was a little pup when Zyler was in college, but I love those guys, man. I love how mean they were on the field. Them guys are nasty. I enjoyed that every second of it. But I always loved linking up with the Badgers. I paid attention to Zyler's career. We always show love and try to take pictures. We've played against each other a few times. But to be on this team, man, it's just love, man. It's just love, and it just kind of, you look at him and it's flashbacks. Zyler hasn't changed at all. I mean, he got some kids and a family now, which is dope to see. But man, I mean, I enjoy it, man. I
That's
enjoy it, and I
awesome.
enjoy having him block for me. When I'm at this point in my career, when I was a freshman, I didn't really get to run behind him. So it's dope, man.
That's cool, man. That is really cool. All right. I know Twitter, it's Melvin Gordon 25, and Instagram, I am Melvin Gordon the third, correct?
No, it's just at Melvin.
Just okay. There you go. At Melvin. Give him a follow there on Instagram. Anything else that we can plug for you, bro?
Oh, that's pretty much it right now, man. I appreciate you showing the love and taking the time, man. Honestly.
Man, it's awesome to have you here and in the mix and seeing how much it means to you to be a Baltimore Raven. I think that's a really cool story for everybody. Melvin Gordon, thank you
Yeah.
for taking the time for us, bro. Really appreciate you doing this today.
Yeah, man. Thank you.